The Hot Spring County Sheriff has been arrested again. This is the third time, and this is the second time that he has been arrested on a federal charge. According to Vine, this time he has a hold for feds, tampering with a witness, aiding and abetting, and commission of a federal felony offense while on pretrial release. He is being held in the Saline County Detention Center. Now, I think that it's helpful to see what people who are in Sheriff Finkbeiner's corner actually have to say about this latest arrest. So one of the people that has consistently been in Sheriff Finkbeiner's corner has been Jennifer Corley. She runs a group on the Book of Faces and has consistently defended Finkbeiner no matter what he's done. So she posted this yesterday or the day before, update on the sheriff. It's amazing the amount of laws the U.S. Attorney's Office has come up with that Sheriff Finkbeiner's allegedly broke, yet they failed to prosecute dirty cops who beat people for fun, dirty cops who protect drug trafficking, and judges who allegedly committed numerous documented crimes. Funny how that works. The sheriff was charged today with 3 more crimes he didn't commit. The sheriff has turned down every plea deal they've offered him since he was arrested over 1 year and 3 months ago. They continue to apply pressure, so he'll plea and resign. This arrest on Friday, he'll be in jail all weekend until a bond hearing on Monday, is a last-ditch effort to break the sheriff into taking a plea deal. It will not work, and we will have our sheriff back after his federal trial, which begins on March 31st. Here is an interesting timeline. So she lays out the timeline as January 1st, 2023. He takes office and busts more drugs than any sheriff had and later finds connections to the cartel, reports it to the FBI, DEA, DTF, and DHS. He also had multiple investigations into local public officials who were committing crimes. Then fast forward to November 6, 2023, he is arrested on criminal federal complaints. Then on November 16th, 2023, indicted under federal charges for obstruction of justice and 2 counts of misprision of a felony. Then May 21st, 2024, he is charged in state court with unauthorized access to ACIC and sexual solicitation. Then on July 30th, 2024, there is a superseding federal indictment, which means that it replaces the original federal indictment. And on that indictment, he is charged with 2 counts of misprision of a felony, 2 counts of making a false statement, falsifying, concealing, or covering up a material fact, and unlawful user of a controlled substance possessing a firearm. Then on November 13th, 2024, there is a second superseding federal indictment. He is charged with unlawful user of a controlled substance possessing a firearm, falsifying, concealing, or covering up a material fact, 2 counts of making a false statement, and 2 counts of misprision of a felony. And then the last one is that on February 7th, 2025, he has been arrested on an additional federal criminal complaint, charged with tampering with a witness, aiding and abetting, and commission of a federal offense while on pretrial release. She goes on to say, how many more are they going to come up with? Jennifer says, I know the inside story, and I look forward to one day being able to tell it. That knowledge is that there is undeniable evidence of Scott's innocence, but even from the view of an outsider to the situation, well, this is starting to look ridiculous. The bottom line is we want our sheriff back in the position we elected him for. If they want to claim our sheriff committed these crimes, then fine, go ahead and give him his trial to prove his innocence. Instead, they have dragged this out as long as they could. They've smeared him as much as they could. They've pressured as much as they could, and they've lied as much as they legally can in efforts to force him to take a plea deal. They know they cannot win at trial because he can prove his innocence. More information coming soon on all this. Prayers for Sheriff Finkbeiner and his family. Legal disclaimer for the haters. This post has nothing to do with my Office of Justice of the Peace and is posted as my personal opinion from my personal Facebook page. If you would like to sue me because I'm vocal about corruption, you'll have to make up something else to sue over. So that is the end of that post. Honestly, she seems like such a peach. As for my bingo card for 2025, I think that this checks off another spot. I did have that there would be a sheriff indicted, and yes, he was already indicted, but this is an additional indictment, and I'm going to count it, by golly. So, yeah, there's that. Also, here's the deal with Sheriff Finkbeiner and the federal court system. They're going to pile on charges. They're going to continue to pile on charges, as many as they can. That's what they do. It's just how it works. It is not discrimination against Scott Finkbeiner. It is anybody and everybody, because as many charges as they can pile on, you're found guilty of one of them, that's good enough for them, right? They do it in state court too. That's nothing new. I don't know why she's acting like this is just special to him. Also, every time she says prayers for him and his family, it just gets me, because was she praying for his family when he was in a crack house getting a blowjob from a drug addict? Was she praying for them then? What about whenever he disappeared from the Sheriff's Association conference, probably still getting a blowjob from an addict in a crack house? Regardless, you can have your own opinion on Finkbeiner. I think it's ridiculous to continue to defend him, because you can't say like they filed all these charges, but they have proof of none. They have proof of none of these charges. Come on. It's just silliness at this point in time, and he's wasting everybody's time and money. Just go to prison. Just go sit there and be happy from federal prison. Leave everybody else alone. Also, one final point. She said that he made all these arrests. On drugs. I don't know how many arrests he made on drugs or anything like that, but I can say it's a lot easier to make arrests on drugs when you know where the drugs are, because you're using the drugs. That's just my opinion, though.